Hey, family of light. So, I just wanted to update everyone on some timeline things and all this fairy stuff I had going on in the last week or so. Um, so, timelines I feel that are coming to close in the cycle would be timelines from anywhere from 7 months or 8 months to a year ago, timelines from 9 years ago, and then timelines from 10 years ago are the ones I see closing out the cycle right now. Um, and so yeah, I don't remember when all this fairy stuff started. I don't remember updating you guys on it. But I've had so much fairy stuff going on the last week or so. So first, I tried to do like a QHHT thing on myself. So I figured out that I had a life in the fairy realm and I had a life in the pixie realm. In the fairy realm, I married a tree. And I remember that one of the interesting days was that a silver sphere, like, I don't know, to me it looked, I don't know, maybe the size of like a basketball, but remember you're a fairy, so you're little, um, came crashing into the tree and my tree went on fire. Um, and it was like uh, an alien consciousness of some kind, and it spoke to me. And I was like, first put the fire out, and then it did, and then it said one day I would be called to the human world, and they needed help. All the souls really needed help desperately on the human world, and so and they were like, you don't have to do it in your next life, but at some point, you should come to Earth and help out. Um, so then, after that, I went to my pixie life afterwards. Um, and in the pixie life, I kind of like, when you see those blue flashes? That could be all a pixie sees from your whole life. So I remember the interactions I had with humans were very brief and visceral, and I was like, oh, this place looks fun. And that was about it. So that's how I chose to how I had chosen to come here. Um, yeah, and so then I had a dream that I was doing some kind of a fairy training in the backyard. And yeah, I was being trained. She was making me run drills. And they were like, oh, remember the trees and remember to water the trees and pollinate the plants and, take care of the animals and all this stuff. Um, and flying lessons too. Um, and then, so I was bored because I took the TV out of my room. So I downloaded the History Channel app and I downloaded this game. So the game was like one of those. It was called Fantasy Love Story Game or something. And it was like, if you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books, it was like that. So you can choose your own ending, kind of thing. And so the one I clicked on was fantasy, but it was like elves and fairies, and I was like, well, what the heck. So some of the synchronicities with this game were so real. And I actually put my name. I usually just put my, first initial, but I put Elaine in there. And of course, like, it's perfect synchronicity with the game because she's like a light princess fairy thing, which is what my name means. And then also, Elaine, bringer of light. And Sarah is princess. Anyway, so, and then if you remember Winx Club, the main fairy, Bloom, she was also like a sunlight, a light fairy. So that's a strong synchronicity with that. And then so in the game, like, they take her out of the human world and someone brings her into the fairy realm. And she's like, she has to stay in the fairy realm and help them after that. So then there are actual lessons. So how meta is that? I'm like dreaming of these things, and then I find this game that like has the same elements. It's like fairy lessons, flying lessons, like all the same stuff. And then even weirder still, my guide Rowana with an O, there's a character in this named Ruana, who's like another princess from a neighboring land. So that weird, unique name came up again. And there was a line in the game that I was like, this is so Starseedy. It said, wait, I have to look it up. I'm gonna pause it 1 second. There are so many elves and fairies with unblocked powers. They're lost and they don't know how to access them. And I thought that was such a great quote, because it's like, yeah, this is so like pertinent to the collective right now. Like, everyone's unblocked their powers and they're really not sure how to create their realities yet. And then there was another like another dark fairy or something, but she wasn't really a dark fairy. She was like a lava fire fairy, so it was light meets fire, which was cool. So that was really interesting too. The energies are vast. There's a lot going on. I keep getting that things are about to change in a major way. And I feel like we're getting repairs to the bridges of DNA chains that are coming out of our crown chakras. And they're kind of like growing and expanding like branches or roots. And yeah, it's a period of growth too. I feel like here and there I'm getting different sides of the cube. Like, I got the message, seeing technically means, if you're like a technical seer, means you're getting speeds and angles. And like they have that for each of the different like areas and which ones relate to which too, which is really interesting. And I'm just trying to be an observer now and take like a step back and just seeing what's being presented and living in the now as much as I can. Just keep the inner child at the wheel. All right, blessings and better crown soul star connections. Love you guys.